With that in mind, I would like to bring up your first comedian. His name, I just met him, great man. His name is Walter Windchill. Please give it up for Walter Windchill.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Drew. To tell you, if you have stage fright, that the cure for stage fright is to imagine your audience naked. That makes no sense at all to me. How is it going to help my stage fright to be standing up here with an erection? All right, news item I heard on the way over here, tornadoes ripped through southern Missouri, wiped out 28 mobile homes. Every house hit by a tornado is a mobile home. Okay, my name is not really Walter Windchill. That's a stage name. I use that in case my ex-wife, in case I actually say something true about my ex-wife. Like this. My ex-wife is not a sociopath. My ex-wife is a socio-boulevard. She got custody of the kids. She got sole custody of the kids. She got custody of their souls, but I got custody of their id. Okay, damn, I'm blanking. Oh, yeah, he was supposed to tell you. I'm from Maryland, from Annapolis, Maryland. I lived here for about 10 years, but that's where I grew up. Maryland is a special place. If you look at a map, you'll see it's sandwiched in between Virginia, which is for lovers, and Pennsylvania, which is for friends, which means Maryland is for fuck buddies. And Washington, D.C. is for date rape. Anyway, I moved here, and I haven't been here more than an hour before some blowhard was telling me, oh, they call it the Windy City, but it's not really the Windy City because of the wind. It's the Windy City because of their boasting about the exposition, blah, blah, blah. You've all heard this. And you probably all heard it more than once. And you've probably all heard it from somebody who was going to be your boss and you had to, pay attention. But the thing is, it is fucking windy here. It's I don't get it. I don't see why I have to explain it. All right, anyway, I've lived here for 10 years and made some friends. Good for me. I have this one friend, pretty good buddy. His name is Randy. Randy is the most finicky eater I've ever known. He was rushed to the hospital last week, starving to death, and they put him on IV. Because he has never in his life tried anything new. He's always refused to try things new, even when he was being rushed to the hospital. Now what happened was a couple weeks back, his mother died. Anyway, it turns out that I'm finicky too. I didn't really realize it until I was walking downtown a few days ago. And the clipboard people came up to me and they said, how do you feel about battered women? I said, well, I prefer raw. Also, I've always had this rule of thumb, because you meet people and you're trying weird things like escargots and calamari and sheep's eyes and who knows what. They're all trying these odd things, and you say, my rule of thumb was, well, if half the people I know have gone to try this, then I'll try it. Okay, if half the people I know are eating something, then I'll try it. And then I realized one day that committed me to giving head. And I decided that's where I draw the line. Although I was talking to somebody this week and he said, that if a sure sign of being gay is if you're fond of the music of Barbra Streisand and Judy Garland. And it made me realize I might be bisexual because I'm not much of a fan of Barbra Streisand, but I absolutely adore Judy. So I figured maybe that makes me bisexual. Okay, I love to think about words. Okay, I just like to think about words, like to make plays on words. And one pair of words I was thinking about recently that kind of go together are boner and anus. If you push them together, you get bonus, which has pretty much been my experience. Okay, but speaking of penises, I just want to say, I get a lot of spam. Everybody does. Get a lot of spam about penis size. Increase your penis size. Do this, do that. Well, let me tell you something. That's all quackery. There is one and only one sure way to increase your penis size, and that is to get a smaller girlfriend. Okay, I used to, but all this talk about penis size made me realize something. In men's rooms, and women, you don't know this maybe, but in men's rooms there's urinals, and the urinals are usually one height, and there's one that's lower. And all my life I thought that was for the handicapped. Until I started getting these ads about, all these emails about penis size. And realized that maybe it's for somebody different. But anyway, some bars, I don't know about this one, some bars put ice in the urinals. I have no idea why, but anyway, I was in there doing my thing one time, and this guy came in and used the low one, and he's there, and he says, that's cold. And some of you with long memories are thinking, hey, wait a minute, didn't he steal that joke from the late Richard Pryor? Well, I prefer to think of mine as the cover version. But more than that, Richard Pryor is not only late, he is not coming at all. It is absolutely ghoulish the way we say late when what we mean is dead. Okay, you ever notice, speaking of words, you ever notice how many of our words for pretty girls are violent? Is that the line? How many of our words for pretty girls are violent? She's a knockout. She's striking. She's stunning. She's a smashing bit of goods. She's got a killer body. She's drop dead gorgeous. She's a sex bomb. Playboy magazine got way out ahead of this a few years ago when their Miss August was named Hiroshima. She was a 12.5 megaton sex bomb. Speaking of Playboy magazine, I knew this guy who was complaining about Playboy. He said he doesn't read it anymore, or doesn't look at it anymore because he's so tired of all the silicone implants and all of the tattoos. And I said, well, that's the old familiar trade-off, tit for tat. And one last thing about silicone, and then I guess I'll go. Some of the women in Playboy, some of the girls in Playboy are so stuffed full of silicone that they really should call them Sandy. Okay, I heard a blurt of a laugh there. That's good enough. Thanks. My name is not Walter Windchill. Defy gravity. Tell jokes.